On 2nd and 2, Allworth coming motion right. This is Garrison trying to cut back. He fumbles the football. Freddie Dryer has the football. 89 of the Giants with the football. And how about this for an exhibition? That is the 4th Dallas fumble.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much, everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you can give this video a thumbs up, or maybe leave a comment below, or possibly even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, here we go, guys. Here we go once again. Week 14, game 13. After this, only got 4 games left. It's amazing how fast the season goes by. So you got the Giants 4-8, Chargers 7-5. Now the Giants, of course, we know they got Daniel Jones is out. Hard to believe Kadarius Toney's out again. This is, I think, he's going to bleak. This will be his 5th game he's missed this year. Got Adoree Jackson out with his quad. It's only his 2nd game that he's missed. So, can't complain about Adoree Jackson, health-wise. Anyway, I mean, he's, we had some injury concerns coming in, but he's can't complain. He's been there for us. So hopefully he'll be in next week's game. We'll have to wait and see. Now, of course, Mike Lennon passed the concussion protocol, so he'll be the starting quarterback, and of course, Jake Fromm will be backup. The only way I can possibly see Jake Fromm getting in there would be, obviously, if Glennon were to get hurt, get his bell rung again, which is with the offensive line that we have, is always possible. Or if we're down like 31-7, like 7 minutes to go, 5-6 minutes to go in the game or something. What Judge said like last year when, the Eagles pulled Jalen Hurts out, but Nate Sudfeld in, Judge was like, that's like disrespecting the game. You always put the guys in the best position to win a football game, so I'm not just going to, pull Mike Lennon out because we're down 10-0 or 17-0 in the first half, or Mike Lennon's got to really be doing absolutely horrible for him to pull him out. So, there's a possibility we'll see Jake Fromm in there tomorrow, but I don't so much bet on it. And of course you got Kenny Golladay. He's questionable, but it looks like what I'm reading. It looks like he'll be playing. He's got ribs. Now I think this is his 5th different injury that I've seen him on. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You got like Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence and some guys just like every play just banging heads with offensive linemen. You don't see them, and they're in there every play almost. Giving it their all, and maybe it's not good enough for them, but they're in there, and you don't see nothing on the injury reserve. I mean, Kenny Golladay runs some routes there, and this week he's probably going to play, but he's got ribs. I've also seen him. I think he's had a knee, he's had his hamstring, he's had a groin, and he had something else. I can't remember. I'm trying to think what it was. I know he had 4, and the ribs would make 5. He's had 5 different injuries with 13 games in the season. He's had 5 different injuries. I mean, Sterling Shepard, he's missed 7 games, so possibly he might be in there if we're lucky. And then Danny Shelton, he's questionable too, but for what I was reading, Kenny Golladay and hopefully Sterling Shepard. I mean, Sterling Shepard would be huge. I mean, if he, I'm not saying he has to be 100%, but I mean, if he can go out, give us something, I mean, that would be huge. Really. I mean, that will help Glennon out a whole heck of a lot. Now, the Chargers are, it's like every week, the Giants, the only thing the Giants win in, seems like every week, is the amount of guys they have injured compared to the other team. The Giants always seem to win that battle. They always seem to have more. So the Chargers, only have, I think, like 5 guys. All right, Kyler Fackrell, It's a shame because, I'm sure he wants to get it. He wanted to get in there against his former team from last year. He's out. Keenan Allen, I was seeing, like with COVID, he's out. That would be huge. He's their number one guy. That would be huge. Gilman was out with his quad. Asante Samuel Jr., he's out with a concussion. So they got a couple boomers out. So that to be helpful. They got a couple guys questionable: Justin Jones and Derwin James. Those guys are questionable. But they said, I was talking about Shepard being if he could be in there, huge. I mean, he's missed 7 games. And in those 7 games, he's still only 3 receptions shy. The 2 Giants have 35 receptions. Evan Ingram, and we can't complain too much about Evan Ingram. Especially, what's he like to do? He drops passes, and he's been injured. Well, his health has been pretty good this year. And he doesn't lead the team in drop percentages. I'm going to go over that in a little bit. All right, you'll be surprised to who does lead the team in drop percentages. But Evan Ingram is kind of down the list as far as drop percentages. I think he also kind of realizes that this is the money year. So he knows the Giants aren't going to be paying him, but somebody, when he goes to free agency, somebody's going to, he ain't getting no top dollar. If somebody signs him for top dollar, they're just stone cold crazy. But you 8 to 10 million, maybe, somewhere around there. So he's kind of setting himself up, for a nice little payday. But as I said, it would be huge. Sterling Shepard's been 7 games, and he has 32 receptions. Kadarius Toney and Evan Ingram have 35 receptions. So the games that Sterling Shepard has been in, he has been, he's averaging like 6 receptions a game. He has been like money. It's just we can't get him on the field. Unfortunately, his injury history is really starting to catch up. But the first couple of years, I think he was rather healthy. Hardly missed any time, if at all. But it just now, as the years go by, he just seems to be more and more injured. I think, unfortunately, whoever the new GM is, when they get a chance, I think they're going to want him just dumping his salary. I think maybe not next year. I think in 2023 they could let him go and save maybe about $10 million. So that's when he might wind up going. Now, Mike Glennon's starting. Jay Fromm's the backup. Now, Mike Glennon did start 8 out of 8 last week. And, I was like, wow. All right, baby, here we go. But then, of course, he wound up finishing 15 out of his last 36, which is 42%. So I don't know if he started 8 for 8, finished 15 out of 36. So I don't know if on that 9th throw is when he got his bell rung. I'm not exactly sure, but he didn't end up very well. Now, it's really tough comparing these two offenses. The Giants are number 27 overall. I know. I had a hard time believing it myself. The Giants have 3,742 total yards. They're 27th in the NFL. The Chargers are number 9. The Chargers have about 850 more yards than the Giants do. The Chargers have 4,585 in total yards. The Giants are number 29. They've gotten 226 first downs, and there's only 3 teams worse as far as getting first downs than the Giants are. Giants spent all that money on the preseason, in the preseason, free agents and all that and everything, and they're 29th in first downs at 226. The Chargers are number 7. The Chargers have 274. The Chargers have almost 50 more first downs than the Giants do in their football games. Chargers passing. They both have about the same amount of interceptions, except the Chargers throwing the ball a lot more. Chargers have 11 interceptions. The Giants only have 10. Cool. Chargers have 27 passing touchdowns. Of course, the Giants only have 11. So, a big difference there. The Chargers number 3 with 3,373 passing yards. The Giants are number 22. They have 2,652 passing yards. So the Chargers have about 700 more passing yards than the Giants do. The Chargers aren't too much running the ball. They're number 22. They only have 1,212 yards rushing the ball. When they do rush the ball, they get 4.5 yards a carry. I mean, that's just because when you got Justin Herbert, I mean, back there, just give the dude the ball, let him throw it. That's why they don't depend too much on the run game when you got Justin Herbert back there. The Giants are number 20. Yeah, it's hard to believe. The Giants are number 27 rushing yards. They've 1,090 rushing yards, and they average 3.9 yards per rush. Very, very sad. The Chargers number 11. They've scored 314 points. They've scored 32 touchdowns. They average 26.2 points per game. Giants are number 28 with 211 points scored. They're dead last. 14 touchdowns scored. They played 12 games. They've scored 14 touchdowns. Oh my God. So sad. The Giants are averaging 17.6 points per game. So I mean the Chargers are averaging like 9 more points per game than the Giants are. Unbelievable. Chargers number 5, third down conversions. This is freaking huge. Third down conversion, number 5, 44.4% conversion. Very good, very, very good. Of course, the Giants are, number 26, 36.4% third down conversions. I mean, the third down is huge. Staying on the field, converting those third downs, staying on the field, keeping the drive alive, wearing the other team's defense out, keeping your defense on the sideline, drinking Kool-Aid, letting them, rest up and all. Huge, absolutely huge. Now, of course, then we go to, the red zone, which is why we got Kenny Golladay and Kyle Rudolph. Chargers number 8 in the red zone. They're 32 out of 50, 64% in the red zone. Very nice number, very nice. The top is like around 70%. I mean, that's like elite. Chargers at 64%. So the Chargers are very, very good in the red zone. The Giants, of course, are the absolute worst in the red zone. The Giants are 13 out of 31 in the red zone. 41.9% in the red zone. The Giants are the only team in the NFL that has a red zone percentage under 50%. Every other team is 50% or above. And the Giants, it's not even close. It's not like the Giants are like 49.6% in the red zone or 48.9% right now. They're 41.9% in the red zone. They're like there's a couple teams that are like 50%. Well, the Giants are 8% lower than the 31st team. I mean, absolutely, unbelievably pathetic. But we know this stuff. Now, on the defensive side, okay, the Chargers, they've given up some points. The Chargers, if you want to say any type of hope, the Chargers have given up 315 points. The Giants are number 15. They're right in the middle of the pack. They've given up 273. But you got to consider the Giants have no offense. So your defense is the middle of the pack, giving up 273, and you have no offense. That's pretty good. The Chargers have an offense, and they just walk up and down the field. And so, therefore, they're giving up a lot of points, too. So, if there's any possibility at all that the Giants go in, I mean, you got that there, okay? The Chargers are the third, the defense-wise, okay? There's another thing the Giants might be able to capitalize on. They're the third worst. They've given up 1,694 rushing yards. They've given up 4.6 yards per carry. The Giants aren't much better. The Giants have given up 4.5 yards per carry. All right. The Chargers are third worst. They've given up 17 rushing touchdowns. So the Chargers give up rushing yards, 4.6 yards per carry. So if you carry it on average, I'm just saying, you carry the ball 2 times against them, you get 9.2 yards, just on an average. And they've given up 17 rushing touchdowns. They give up almost like 1.5 rushing touchdowns per game. So that's quite a bit. I mean, as I said, the Giants aren't that much better. The Giants are giving up 4.5 yards per carry. But a lot of it is, the other teams wind up, going attacking the Giants a lot with the with their passing game. They get the Giants back off. The team complete the pass. They come up and wrap them up, make the tackle. So the Giants haven't given up as many rushing yards as the Chargers have. That's because the Giants have that soft zone that they seem to be playing an awful lot. But I mean, the Giants can also be, dashed, as we've seen a couple of times. The Cowboys put up a lot of rushing yards against them. The Eagles put up over 200 yards rushing against them. But some of with the Eagles, a lot of that was Jalen Hurts. You're not going to see Justin Herbert. They don't put him in harm's way too much like we do with Daniel Jones. Now, if you got pressure-wise, all right, on defense, the Chargers are number 5 in quarterback hurries. They get 12 quarterback hurry percentage, 12.9% of the time they get a quarterback hurry. The Giants are number 25, but I don't need to explain that because we obviously see the Giants get no pressure. Giants are number 25. They get quarterback hurry percentage on 8.6% of the time, which is really sad. The Chargers are number 5 in pressure percentage. 27.6% of the time they get pressure on the quarterback. The Giants, of course, are number 31. The Giants get pressure on 18.2% of the time, as we've seen so many times. The other team's quarterback just seems to drop back and stands back there forever until somebody gets open. Giants are number 8, with 13 interceptions. And they're number 3. They had 62 passes defense. So the Chargers only have 19 interceptions. And they're the 30th worst team. They've only had 35 passes defense. So they do have a little, if there's any weakness, it would be their defense. Now, tomorrow, today, everything is going to matter. I mean, everything. When Glennon throws the ball, it's got to be caught. I mean, let me go back to this. Saquon Barkley is the worst on the team as far as drop percentage. He's dropping 12.5% of his passes. Then Darius Slayton is number 2, 11.4% drop percentage. I mean, that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. I mean, when Glennon goes back, if you get your hands on the ball, you got to pull it in. I mean, you got to try to run the ball. That's one of the weaknesses against the Chargers, running the ball. They're giving up about 140 yards a game running the ball. Right? Try maybe some play action. Right? Freeze the linebackers, have them bite on a some type of play action or whatever. Maybe get Evan Ingram. I know we're so sick and tired of seeing these short passes, but if you got Shepard out there, he can find himself open. Maybe run something and get Evan Ingram. Just try to get something, get the play. First down. Try to keep the drives alive as much as you can. Keep Justin Herbert on the sideline. Now, it also you compare Saquon Barkley. I mean, it's just amazing how certain teams when they dump it off to their back, how the backs get more yards. I mean, Saquon's averaging under 7 yards of reception. I mean, Austin Eckler, when with the Chargers, he's averaging over 9.3 yards of reception. So when he gets the ball, he's doing stuff with it. Unlike Saquon or Devontae Booker. I mean, you gotta find ways to get the ball to these guys in space and get them some yards. Get them, we gotta keep the ball. Got to keep the ball away from Justin Herbert. Now the Giants only, says they got to keep the ball away from them. They can't, once again, no interceptions, no fumbles, no stupid penalties. On defense, I said no Keenan Allen, so they might want to maybe think about doubling Mike Williams, who is 3rd on their team in receptions. He has 55 receptions. Which just goes to show you, he's 3rd on their team and he has 55. He's 3rd on their team and he has 20 more receptions than the number 1 guy on the Giants does, and he's 3rd on their team. Austin Eckler is 2nd. He has 56 receptions. And as I said, when he can, got to keep your eye on him. Austin Eckler and Mike Williams. Those two guys. I said you might want to think about doubling Mike Williams, take him out of the equation, and make Justin Herbert beat you with his arm, throwing it to somebody else. If Keenan Allen ain't there and you can take Mike Williams out of the way, and try to, as I said, try to cover Austin Eckler. He's got 56 receptions. He catches a lot of passes. At 9 point, every time he catches the ball, he almost gets a first down on an average. He has 663 rushing yards. He averages 98.5 total yards per game. So, I mean, you got him, and then if you add Mike Williams in there, and you got Keenan. I mean, they got a nice offense. I said the only, is their defense. I said everything. If they get like 10 drives, can we get 1 or 2 sacks in there, maybe to cancel out a drive? Can we get maybe they have a penalty here or a penalty there that kills a drive for them? Can we get a turnover or 2? We had a nice streak. I think it was like 13 games in a row where the defense got a turnover. Of course, last week against Miami, we didn't get any. But, I mean, if you can get a couple turnovers to kill a drive, that would be huge. Now, as I said, there's no way in the heck we're going to shut them out. But can we hold them into in maybe the low to mid-20s? That would be nice if we could. But then on the other hand, are we going to be able to score more than that? Yeah. That might be asking a bit much. If anything, let's see if they can, keep it close, right? Keep it, keep it somewhat respectable. Now, the Chargers have been like winning and losing and winning and losing and winning and losing. Now, they started off 4-1. Now they're 7-5. So they've gone 3-4 out of their last 7 games. They lost 2 in a row, then they beat the Eagles, then they lost to Minnesota at home. Then they beat Pittsburgh. Then they went on the road and they only scored 13 points and they lost to the Broncos. And then last week they beat the Bengals. They put up a boatload of points to the Bengals. So they're kind of like up and down, up and down, up and down. So if we got any luck going for us, maybe this will be a down week for. But just try to enjoy the game best. Maybe there'll be a couple nice moments for the Giants here or there. But as far as coming out of there with the W, I don't see it happening. The only thing that I can hope for is when the game is over with, it's like you can look back and say, well, we might have lost, but we only lost by 3 points, or we only lost by 6 points or so. I don't see us winning this game at all. It would be nice if we can, but I don't expect too much from it. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants!